finest professional wrestling from the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic region, Capital Wrestling.
Welcome to Capital Wrestling. I'm your host, Stephen James. This week, we take a look at the stars of Capital Wrestling as we are minutes away from our return to Cathedral Hall. When you're watching us on GFQ, and if you're in the New York, New Jersey area, get your ass down to Cathedral Hall in Jersey City at 380 Montgomery Street as we bring you 10 major matches being taped for Capital Wrestling Television. When we come back here on Capital Wrestling, we'll take you back to our very first episode of Capital Wrestling when John Kermon faced off against Jeff Cannonball. Capital Wrestling brings the stars of Lucha Libre to the Cathedral on Saturday night, July 29th, for an event you do not want to miss. Already signed for this major showdown, the Rogue Anthony Gangone, the Colossal Mike Law, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the National Wrestling Alliance, Luxury Muscles Incorporated, and more. For tickets and more information, go to capitallucha.brownpapertickets.com.
And we're starting off. Emil, a huge clash of styles here. That's what this match is about. That's what Capital Wrestling is about. Different styles. We got the MMA background of John Kermon with the hardcore style of Jeff Cannonball. You wonder who this is going to favor. And already Jeff Kermon with the strikes to the inner thigh.
Yeah, John Kermon, very well versed in the art of MMA. As well as Cannonball being well versed in the art of hardcore professional wrestling. But when you get down to the nitty gritty here, the sport which we are having right now is professional wrestling. So if anything, I've got to give the edge to Cannonball. Really?
Okay, that's interesting. You see, the thing is, I know Cannonball, you know, he's wrestled in professional wrestling, but a lot of the places he's wrestled, CZW, and no offense CZW, great organization, but they're known a little for the hardcore style, and that's what Jeff Cannonball specializes in. But that's a DQ in this contest. You know?
It sure is, but some of the things in the MMA world will be disqualifications in professional wrestling as well. Those different chokes and whatnot. You got to be careful.
That's true. Fair enough. Kermon going for a leg lock, a leg bar immediately. A smart move. Smart move by Kermon trying to take down Jeff Cannonball. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a very wise move. And one more thing I'd like to point out about why I'm giving the edge to Cannonball is that, you know, like you said, a lot of the things that he has gone through in hardcore professional wrestling, he's gone through a lot of damage. So his pain threshold is a bit higher than the average man. And so therefore, some of these holds and some of these submissions that Kermon might lock on, he might be able to sit in for a few extra seconds and find a way out, because he's used to going through that pain in his matches.
That is a good point. But can he last the pain of getting put in an armbar? It's a different type of thing. Sure, you can get hit in the head with a lid of a trash can. You can get hit. Ironically, both of them have probably been hit with kendo sticks. But going for the triangle choke. Going for the triangle choke, and if he gets this in, this is bad news for Cannonball. Pain or no pain, you can't tolerate anything if you're unconscious, and he reaches for the ropes. Definitely the wrestling ring awareness from Jeff Cannonball to reach for those ropes, knowing your positioning at all time.
Yeah, and that's something that doesn't exist in the world of MMA. There's no ropes.
There are no ropes. No, sir. Okay. Cannonball essentially letting him know that he's had enough of the wrestling. He tried to wrestle him. Now he's going to go for hardcore rules. asking for a folding chair, and I'm going to gather not to take a seat, Emil.
Well, we'll see what Cannonball's got in mind. I mean, Kermon's curious as well.
Well, Kermon's kind of standing there in confusion because he knows that this will end the match immediately. And they're going to get hardcore, apparently setting up perhaps for some type of, eventually maybe a pile driver or a suplex on it. I don't know.
He's pointing at that chair. I mean, I've seen this time and again. He's inviting John Kermon to take a seat. Cannonball looking to take a seat as well. They're going to slug it out like men.
Oh, my goodness. Well, this is something that you don't see in MMA or professional wrestling, really. Oh.
Cannonball giving Kermon a first shot, but Cannonball firing right back.
A little bit of a strike there. It definitely hurts. Some silence.
Ooh, man, you could hear.
Knocking Kermon off his chair.
You could hear the smack of knuckle to jaw.
A punch. Going back and forth.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like Cannonball had much more snap on his punches than did Kermon, which, oh gosh.
Oh, that Cannonball. Just frightening the crowd a little bit.
Frightened me. We were directly in the line of...
That is true.
Who knows how far he could throw one of those things.
Well, Cannonball doesn't come from a place with much furniture, so he doesn't really know how to treat it, in all fairness.
What are you saying? He's got a nice home.
I mean, listen, it's nice that you can move it on wheels. It's great, but... And laying into Kermon right into one of the pews, this right here in Cathedral Hall, the home of Capital Wrestling.
What a venue. What a great place this is.
Well, I couldn't think of a holier place to have this type of match with Jeff Cannonball and John Kermon, and breaking the count, Jeff Cannonball.
That is a wise decision from Cannonball. Do the work on the outside, but make sure you break that count. You don't want to start off on the wrong foot here in Capital Wrestling with a loss or a draw, I guess it would be if both men were counted out. You don't want to start your win-loss record here with a 0.
No, not a good idea. New company and everything. Oh, water right in the face of John Kermon. Hardcore if there ever was a move, and the crowd appreciates it. And
it certainly seems like this audience is firmly behind Cannonball. A bit more of a hometown hero, I guess it were.
Well, he is a New Jersey native, and people love Jersey natives here in Jersey, but Cannonball gearing up, pillar to post. Oh! Right into the pillar. Kermon avoiding the damage and hoping to make it in. The referee kind of stopping his count because of the insanity, now starting it up again. He's been very liberal with this, but he's choosing to let them duke it out, and that's the beauty of Capital Wrestling. We want results. We don't just want count-out finishes if we can avoid them. Hence, Kermon bringing Cannonball into the ring. He wants to defeat him in the middle.
Just stomping away at Cannonball. That's the opening Kermon needed. The
only drawback of not wearing shoes is those strikes are a little less effective as far as stomping goes. But it's what Kermon's used to. That's his MMA background. When I asked these two earlier today what the strategies were, Kermon said he was going to rely on his Gracie jiu-jitsu training and a kick out by Jeff Cannonball. Cannonball countered by saying his strategy was that he was going to drop John Kermon on his head. So styles clashes for sure.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying, but Cannonball getting willed up to his feet by the fans in attendance here this evening.
And more knee strikes from Kermon, vicious knee strikes. Cannonball enters into this match. Part of the reason I think he took this match is he wants to prove that he's more than just the hardcore guy that you see in the Vice documentary that he was a part of. He wants to show that he's an all-around professional wrestler and can go with any style. But right now, it's not looking so hot for Jeff Cannonball as Kermon just lays into him.
And ever since that miss on the outside, it's been all Kermon. He's got to string together a couple of strikes, maybe throw a submission in there. Maybe he'll be able to get this thing done and over with.
And you can see now he's going to the submission. Kermon's a dangerous hybrid athlete. He's going to use his MMA background to try and cut down and isolate Cannonball from his, the moves that work for Cannonball. So,
oh, hard kick, and imagine what it would do for somebody to say that they made Jeff Cannonball tap out. After all the things that Cannonball has been through in professional wrestling, to tap him out would be quite the feather in the cap of John Kermon.
And now Cannonball, a little bit of a reprieve there, but Kermon back in control, flipping him over, and now back to a little bit more of the trying to choke him out a little bit. He's got to be careful. I know you mentioned, and you're correct, MMA, you can choke somebody out. You cannot do that in professional wrestling, so he's got to be a little bit looser with those chokes.
Yeah, you gotta cut off the blood supply to the brain. I'm not worried about cutting off the air supply.
And the ref, by the way, throughout this match is, Kermon has been going with a couple of those strikes to the inner thigh. Caught by. Oh!
Fall away, slamming to the corner. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that.
The ref has been warning you can't. Nice clothesline by Cannonball. Nice bionic elbow. And a nice slugging it out. Let's see what Kermon can do to try to change the momentum, because Cannonball is picking up and is dangerous. Belly to belly!
Kermon can't do much right now. He got caught with that belly to belly suplex. Cannonball took him over the side with it. And now Cannonball looking for the cannonball, it seems here. And he got all of that one. Wasn't able to land it on the outside. He was able to land it in the confines of the ring on top of the cover of the count. But only enough for 2.5, says senior Capital Wrestling official, Mr. Mike Keener.
And Jeff Cannonball somehow now has control over everything here in the match. He's changed the momentum. But Kermon again with the strikes.
Ooh. Kermon getting great height and extension on those side kicks there. Oh, headbutt to the chest after popping him up.
Going for a suplex.
Not quite. Turned into an elevated neck breaker. Here he is on top of the cover again.
And
he's in the ropes.
In the ropes.
Mike Keener keeping his eye on things.
Whether you want to call it pure luck or smart positioning, knowing where you are in the ring, Kermon makes it to the ropes to break that count. And the ref warning Cannonball to give him some space to get up to see if he can continue. Kermon can continue. He's been throwing a lot of kicks. Another kick.
Hey!
And that's it. The ref had been warning him about those kicks. Warning him. Finally, the smartest thing that he could do is start acting like a professional wrestler, and that's what you do. He had enough. He tried to compete as far as MMA style. It didn't work, so he resorted to doing what he had to do, and maybe he didn't get the victory, but he sent a message. John Kermon sending a message to everybody in the Capital Wrestling locker room. Emil.
Capital Wrestling's debut show. Jeff Cannonball versus John Kermon, a styles clash. Something they build as the deathmatch guy, the brawler, versus the MMA guy, the technical master. And you see what happened there. We had a good back and forth. We did the MMA stuff. We did the brawl. We fought on the outside of the ring. We used submissions. We did everything you could ask for. And I had no ill will going into this match. I had nothing against you, John. And I don't think I gave you reason to have anything against me. This was just a competition between two men. You see, but what happened at the end of that match was that you got a little desperate and you kicked me. Let's call it what it is. You gave me a low blow. And you see, I do have a problem with that, John, because we go into this thing as men, and next thing I know, I'm rolling around on the ground. I'm holding my crotch in front of a room full of strangers. And how's that make me look? How's that make me look in front of all those people, John? So you see, June 3rd, we return. Capital Wrestling returns to Jersey City. And once again, I have you in that ring. And this time, You may have taken the easy way out last time, but this time maybe I'll be the one who gets a little bit desperate. This time maybe I'll be the one who shows you a little bit more about that world that I come from, a little bit more about these scars, a little bit more about that blood that runs through these veins, John. And you know what? No matter what happens, John, I feel like this time I'll be a lot more satisfied.
With the hours turning into minutes before their second encounter, will Jeff Cannonball be able to get revenge on John Kermon? When we return, we will see the highlights of the crowning of our first ever tag team champions and a look at their challengers tonight in Jersey City on the best of Capitol Wrestling. Capitol Wrestling brings the stars of Lucha Libre to the Cathedral on Saturday night, July 29th, for an event you do not want to miss. Already signed for this major showdown, the Rogue Anthony Gangone, the Colossal Mike Law, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the National Wrestling Alliance, Luxury Muscles Incorporated, and more. For tickets and more information, go to capitallucha.brownpapertickets.com.
She threw out some buzzwords.
Well, femivist.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
That's a feminist activist. You got to get with the times, Emil.
Oh,
okay.
So this is what we do. We just make portmanteaus out of regular words, and they're supposed to mean something.
Well, she's trying to fight the patriarchy and break the glass ceiling here at Capitol Wrestling, and she's using the services of Sizzling Stan Styles and beautiful Bobby Shields, the Luxury Muscles Incorporated, to do that. To help her achieve that goal.
You know, I think she's all mixed up here. She's talking about not using violence to settle issues. We're in the sport of professional wrestling. Sometimes violence does indeed happen. If you don't like it, if you need a hashtag safe space, you might as well take up another hobby.
Well, the fans...
These people that come out here and you know, they make up words and they need their safe space and they, you know, talk down on others for applying their craft in a way that they do. They need to take something else up as a hobby. I'm sorry, but I do not need her to come out here and expound her quote-unquote virtues and bring her men out here. Well, I don't need to listen to any of that kind of stuff.
You don't have the respect for women that people like me have, Emil. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh,
but
I respect women. I respect them 110%. But the way she comes out here, running her mouth, interrupting an interview segment I had planned with the senior official of this company, Mike Keener, with her drivel, that's where I have a problem.
It seems to me you're taking it personal. As Bobby Shields, beautiful Bobby Shields, now tagged in the ring, and immediately hip tossed by Andros the Greek here. Look, whether you like it or not, the Luxury Muscles Incorporated are going to be a tag team to deal with, and you're going to have to deal with Portia Vaughn. But right now, the Perfect Strangers, Marquis going for the cover, kick out by beautiful Bobby Shields.
Marcus now, try to get him for a slam, but Bobby Shields slipped out the back door and slammed Marcus down that time. And
look at the strength. Oh, well.
Took too long with that elbow drop. He was too busy showboating. And now Marcus slams him down. Big time body slam, center of the ring.
In all fairness, I can't really blame him. I mean, if I had that type of body, I would be showcasing a lot of showboating. And Marcus Marquis with the bionic. Atomic drop.
Bobby Shields going to be sitting a little weird for the next few days, I'm sure. We have an exchange here of the Perfect Strangers.
Oh!
Nice tag team combination
going
right
for
there.
The stranger danger. And unfortunately, a beautiful Bobby Shields able to kick out for the Perfect Strangers. Perfect Strangers, very popular and trained Staten Island's Warriors of Wrestling. Two-time tag teams of the year. 2 times tag team of the year at Warriors. and you can't take it away from them. They have a bizarre connection. But beautiful Bobby Shields, knowing where the ropes are, tagging in Stan Styles. And now Styles goes to work on Andros the Greek.
Stan Styles in control of his man right now. Sent him down to the canvas and gets right on top of him. You saw that he was reaching out for a tag.
And now pitch perfect tag team wrestling. Bring him to the corner, isolating him, keeping him away from his partner, Marcus Marquis. Going for the cover. 1, 2, and kick out by Andros the Greek. Listen, if you have to pick between these two teams of who should represent Capital Wrestling, I don't know how that's even a contest or a discussion to you. I mean, Luxury Muscles Incorporated, they are what you picture a tag team championship duo being.
Who? Who pictures that? You?
I mean, not me personally.
Okay, come on. You're over here. Very one-sided. We heard this last week out of you.
I'm just saying these are two 80s dreamboats come to life. I mean, look, that's what's in. Retro is in, and these guys, they've got the look, okay? I mean, the Perfect Strangers, it's a cute story. Supposedly, Andros was getting hustled on the street and was going to get beat up, and Marcus saw this and saved him, and they've been friends ever since, and they've been training and wrestling. It's adorable, but
yeah, they're good people.
Sure.
They're good people.
That's great, but that don't pay the bills.
That's who I would rather have represent this great company. Good people instead of these two, what'd you call them, dreamboats? I don't know what perverse thing you're thinking about coming out here.
You've got the orange zebra print. What more do you want? They've got something, you know? These guys, yeah, they're friends, but, you know, friends don't make great magazine covers. Sorry. You know, Jennifer Aniston aside. And, well, that's not going to help the magazine cover.
Marcus Marquis was reaching out for that tag, but Sizzling Stan Styles ran in. No tag was made there.
How brilliant by Sizzling Stan Styles. And now Marcus being unable to control his temper, having to be told by the ref to get out of the ring. Well, Sizzling Stan Styles, shaking those hips for all the ladies in the crowd. Marcus trying to rally Andros the Greek.
Andros looking the wrong way. And he turned around. No, he caught him. Face first. Goes Stan Styles and Andros the Greek. He's got two choices here. Go for the win or go to make the tag.
Look, this is for more than tag team championships, by the way. This is for feminism as a whole and the women's movement here. That's what's at stake here. And Sizzling Stan Styles tagging in beautiful Bobby Shields. In comes Marcus Marquis. Clothesline. Elbow. Beautiful body slam. A little too much showboating, if you ask me.
A little bit too much showboating. Have you been watching what Shields and Styles have been doing for the duration of this match?
Listen, when you look that good, everything you do comes across as showboating. They can't help it.
If only the world could see how many times I've shaken my head while listening to you talk.
Wow.
I'm in for a long ride here in Capital Wrestling with you sitting next to me.
I'm sorry, were you talking? I was distracted by the beauty, the grace, and the intelligence of Portia Vaughn on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, of course. You're not watching what's going on the inside of the ring.
Going
cheating, going down here, and a German suplex. Ah, come on, not like that.
Oh, my goodness. It's one step further, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a beautiful night for women history. What a wonderful night for feminism. What a wonderful night. We got to witness history. The first step in the feminist wave of Capital Wrestling.
We have to celebrate. Water's not celebrating. This is the pre-celebration because tonight, for the first time ever, the rock and roll model Matt Sex sells, the insane luchador Smiley. We come to Capital Wrestling. What do you think? You ready for that? Yeah, of course Smiley's ready because the rock and roll model's ready. The team of the sex craze is ready. We're going to go out there and we're going to prove to the world, prove to Capital Wrestling that we are the best tag team in the world, right? Right, yeah, of course that's right. Because Capital Wrestling, get ready for a sex experience like no other.
Wow, doing a little drum solo.
Great echo here. The acoustics in here
Are
fantastic here at the cathedral.
And Sells going back, and for some reason having the common sense to make it to the corner for a legal tag.
Flashing a bit of teamwork here, up and over. And a knee to the face. 1, 2.
The flashiest knee drop in professional wrestling.
You could say he sells it.
That's true. Again, there's a lot of unnecessary pizzazz, some people might say, and by some people I mean me. But these two are great athletes, there's no doubt about it. But those forearms, there's no match for those forearms.
Perhaps.
Now that's some old Texas style forearms, a European uppercut a little bit. You're talking about the Briscoes, the Funks. That's that classic wrestling style, that brawling style, a Cowboy Bill Watts. And that's what they're trying to emulate.
And look on the outside, duplicitously, the Classics choking with that towel.
Well, that's what you call
corner.
A classic Jerry the King Lawler heel move. You know, that's something that Lawler would have done in his Memphis days.
Of course, the Classics trying to bring old school flavor here to Capital Wrestling. Standing suplex.
Rolling
Went for the cover.
Now, see. Now he tried to roll him away from his corner, which was smart. Unfortunately, it did buy Sells a little bit of time, so he could get out of that.
The adjustment was there.
But it was a smart, the thinking, the process is there.
Right hand to Sells. Now mocking Sells.
I know that these two, the Classics, they said they wanted to win the tag team championships at some point so that they could take the belts and go work for Baba's promotion, which I think they're a little bit caught up in the whole, old school thing, the old school theme. I didn't have the heart to break it to them. The knee to the gut.
Up, Sells up. The Classics working in tandem here. Drop down, 1, 2, and a kick out by Sells. Smiley on the outside, frustration mounting as it has been a long time.
How can you tell? He's got a mask on, Steven.
He's got frown lines.
Fair enough.
Crinkled mask.
Right to the stomach, isolating him in that corner.
Those massive shoulders just working him over, and now it continues. Smiley trying to get in, distracting the referee, and now a mugging going on in the corner here by the Classics. Sells fighting back. Looking to make a tag, but he is a long way from home right now. Smiley taken down on the outside. Perhaps a numbers game going to catch up to Sells and Smiley here as he is down on the outside, struggling to get up. Tag made by the Classics. Looking for perhaps a wishbone here.
Oh, wow.
Just doubling up on that knee, trying to take him off that vertical base, which is half of Sells' power.
Oh, and can't gyrate those hips. But he's trying to, I guess, gain some momentum. Somehow, even though it defines science, those hip wiggles give him some type of momentum, but
2 count.
Wasn't enough, apparently, to counteract that clothesline.
I think with them working on the legs, he wasn't able to get the full torque of the hip to fully gyrate.
Perhaps one too many old school body slams, because there's a palm strike from Sells.
Right under the chin. as Sells looks for the tag here. But the Classics again showing their resolve to no avail, because here comes Smiley, tag made.
Oh, wow.
What a moonsault up and over as Smiley is cleaning house here.
A forearm, another clothesline, another clothesline.
Elbow. Tried to roll through. Smiley with a cutter, dropping him flat on the mat. 1, 2.
Uh-oh.
Broken up.
Going for a German suplex, but unable to lift him. Smiley fighting out of it.
Super kick catches his tag team partner.
Another strike by Smiley. And then
And a double cutter here. Smiley clearing the table here. Tagging back in Sells. Sells stomping it out with a kick. And a neck breaker.
Yeah.
Smiley up top.
Wow.
My God,
Incredible.
the athleticism. 450 splash. 3 count. Matt Sells and Smiley may not be the most orthodox team, but what they are tonight are victors here in Capital Wrestling.
I hope to God that they do not end up somehow winning those belts one day, and they are the face of Capital Wrestling.
It just shows how competitive the tag team division is here in Capital Wrestling.
And the Classics.
As the Classics walk off to lick their wounds. But standing victorious, Sells and Smiley.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Capital Wrestling. We are just moments away from kicking off at Cathedral Hall, where we'll bring you 10 major matches that are being filmed for Capital Wrestling Television. And that's only the beginning of the summer of Capital Wrestling, as we bring you the brightest stars of Lucha Libre to the Cathedral Hall on July 29th. For tickets and more information, go to capitallucha.brownpapertickets.com. For everyone here at Capital Wrestling, I'm Stephen James, and I'll see you next time for another view from the Capitol.
Capital Wrestling, I feel like you're kind of painting me into a corner. See, on your inaugural show, you put me in the ring with that really, really special guy named Ryan. You know the kind of guy I'm talking about. Short bus, special helmet. Not the kind of guy that belongs in the ring with me. And now, on June 3rd, at your second show, you put me in the ring with Sonny Kiss. He's different too. He's a male cheerleader. And I kind of feel like you're setting me up to commit a hate crime. But I like it. I like what you're doing. I like what you're thinking. And I can't wait, personally, to come to Jersey City and take Sonny Kiss and get rid of him. See, I got a couple of words for you, Sonny, and let's make sure you can understand this, that we're on the same page, so you know where I'm coming from on June 3rd. You ready? Okay. My name is Ken. Your name is Sonny. On June 3rd, we'll wrestle, and I'll kill you.